Et dans la continuité de ce qu'elle vient de dire, pas plus tard qu'hier, une ONG internationale nommée Yémen Data Project vient exactement de confirmer ce que Madame Kim Sharif vient de nous dire. C'est-à-dire que au moins 8600 bombardements aériens ont été menés par la coalition saoudienne. 3577 ont touché des sites militaires et tenez-vous bien, 3158 ont touché des sites non militaires. Au moins 942 bombardements ont visé des zones résidentielles, 114 des marchés, 34 des mosquées, 147 des infrastructures scolaires et 26 des universités. Je dois malheureusement vous passer des détails, car nous avons parmi nous, j'ai presque envie de dire en exclusivité, une oratrice qui nous vient du Yémen, elle y était la semaine dernière. Elle s'appelle Anastasia Popova, c'est une reporter de guerre qui s'est fait connaître à travers le conflit en Syrie et qui était revenue avec un chef-d'œuvre documentaire qui s'appelait le Syrian Diary. Je lui donne la parole maintenant. Elle a passé un mois sous les bombes de la coalition menée par l'Arabie Saoudite. I give you the floor there, Anastasia.
Change the seat, I guess. I'll sit there. Just start the video. So I'm going to talk just about the things I've seen. I don't want to talk about politics. It's not my business. I'm going to present the videos that we ourselves filmed there and explain what we have seen. That's it. It will be short, but you have to watch it for yourself. Welcome to Yemen. This is what we filmed there every night. This is what people live under, not only in Sana'a, but in many other cities. And the first thing that struck me was the airport. It's almost completely destroyed. They're burned down civilian airlines and nobody removes them. The runway is full of patches and all the windows of the terminal are broken and most of the buildings are now destroyed. Nobody can come and go there. The sky has been closed for over a month and it wasn't open even for holidays. Even those who need emergency medical help cannot leave. The blockade is total. At the same time, since April, there has been a ceasefire, but it hasn't been fulfilled by either side of the conflict, even for one day. In the first 10 days of the blockade, it started on the 8th of August, the coalition even refused Red Cross airplanes with help and medicine, so nobody could enter the country. Everyone was grounded and even the attempts to negotiate led to nothing. So international organizations are trying to negotiate backstage, but so far they haven't been able to open the skies. I should explain the routine. There are no official flights to Yemen now. All the flights should stop at Bisha. It's on the border with Saudi Arabia. And Saudi military selectively inspect the baggage and they check everyone's documents. But now even this path is closed. So here's what the airport looks like. And there was a destroyed cargo plane as well as this one, a civilian airliner. At least there were no people inside, thank God. So we made it into the country and on the last semi-legal flight. And the bombing of Sana'a started, and in front of our eyes, we were on the roof, as you've seen, bombs were falling during the day. They do hit military targets, it's true, as they say, but somehow every third strike is against civilians. And that day the rocket fell on a food factory. It was set ablaze, and we immediately went there and arrived while it was still burning. It was hard to describe the panic that was there. People were pulling bodies, putting them in bags, loading them in car trams. The morning shift in Yemen is usually women. There are women who work, so mostly women died in this strike. We went inside, everything was in smoke. It was hard to breathe. Firemen put out fires, the bodies were burned beyond recognition. It was really a horrible thing to see, and bodies were grounded under pieces of roof. There were no military equipment there, no weapons, nothing. Just machinery, like a normal factory. And the smell of the burned meat, which is really frightening. We saw a deep crater from one of the rockets, and one of the people who was assisting us there, he lost 2 of his best friends from the childhood in this strike. They had recently gotten these jobs because they wanted to get some money, and one of them planned to marry in 2 months. He wanted to save some money, but he died under these bombs. We spoke to the firemen, to the doctors, but yet we had to flee very quickly because of the returning of the coalition planes. There was panic on the ground. Everybody started running, waiting for another strike on a civilian factory. It happened several times in other places. People even didn't have time to put out the fire, so everybody just ran away. The relatives of the killed people, they lived in a neighborhood called Wadi Ahmed. It's right next to the airport. As we arrived there, we were surrounded by people. Everybody has his own story. Every child has pieces of the bombs, and we were taken to the place where several houses are totally destroyed. There was a woman screaming and crying and asking me why are they being killed? And I didn't know what to answer. I still don't know what to answer. I understand that, okay, that's politics and that's war, but I don't want to talk about politics. Why ordinary people die? Why peaceful people are suffering? What is their crime? What did they do wrong? I have no answer until now. Why was, for example, the school in Sada, as you said, bombed? Why were the Doctors Without Borders killed? We were in Sada, in the north of the country, and we were filming the central street there. In a couple of seconds you'll see how it looks like. This is Sada. It's the main street, actually. Bombs are falling every day there, and this is how it looks now. And people still live there, and they try to survive, I guess. These are clay houses, and they are over 1,000 years, and the whole neighborhoods are destroyed. And this is the old city, which is supposedly under UNESCO protection, but what can UNESCO do? They don't have their own army. So this was also hit. The old city of Sana, which is also protected by the UNESCO, was hit too. So obviously this organization cannot stop the strikes. They will have to rebuild, I guess, maybe, if it's possible, but in some places there's nothing to be restored. They hit the houses, the coalition, I mean, they hit the houses because they said that some Houthi leaders lived there. But these houses belong to regular people, their families, and now they're gone, and nobody in the world seems to care about that. This is the piece of cloth which was left of one of the kids died in this house. And this is his neighbor. He showed it and explained. He also had some photos, but I cannot show everything. And this is what happened to the house of a judge who was appointed by the Houthis to prosecute Al-Qaeda. The house was hit by a rocket at night while everyone was sleeping there. And all members of the family died. Everybody, except one. The judge died, his wife, their children, their wives, and their children. This one, he's the only son who survived, and he was thrown outside by the blast wave. His father's body was found across the street, and he flew over 200 meters to the gas station from his house at night. And I wonder, whom did this judge inconvenience? I mean, he is obviously not a military person. Well, Yemen is a country of mountains, and the coalition is hitting roads, bridges, infrastructure, and this is the electrical station that was hit. So many provinces and many cities are left without electricity, so they try to use solar panels to find some electricity. Many trucks cannot deliver food or humanitarian aid because of the roads, and do I even need to say that the streets are full of beggars? We visited a refugee camp, this one, in the city of Amran. There are around 1,000 people living there. And you know, I've been to many places. I've been to Syria, I've been to Mali, but I've never seen anything like this. The people there, they're ruined. I mean, they're desperate. Their houses are made of wet clay, so when it rains, it gets flooded, even worse than in Calais, in France. Children beg on the streets and on the highways, and often they're hit by cars there. So those who survive, like I hope to show this lady, which should appear next. Those who survive, they are handicapped, and this one, the girl that she even can't smile after what happened to her. Look at her. This is the way she walks now, but she cannot walk 10 feet. She just goes down, and that's it. And she cannot get medical help, so they try to do something with her arm, but it doesn't really help. But she keeps smiling. She tries to live there. She tries to survive. It's really frightening how many people and children are there on the streets begging for food. The men there, they tried to find some work. They collected plastic bottles for recycling. But their recycling plant was also bombed by the coalition. So now they have no work, nothing to do. There were also 3 cement factories that are also bombed, so now the construction has stopped there. And as a result, there's nothing to eat. People wait for restaurants' leftovers, the waste to eat. Can you imagine 8 million people at the point of starving to death? Even the UN said that the situation in Yemen is the worst in the world, not even in Africa, it's Yemen now. And for some reason, they're bombing schools, villages. Children cannot go to school anymore, and they live there in constant fear. Some of the children, as you see here, are injured also. They have injuries of the eyes and the arms because of the bombs that were falling. They were hit somehow, so they don't get any medical help. So international help doesn't reach them, and in their eyes I saw the same question: why? What did we do? Like, think of the number: 1/3 of the airstrikes, 1/3 hit civilians. So the next time you're having coffee somewhere here in Serpentarium, just give a thought to the millions of lives that are being ruined for no apparent reason.